Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NeverOpenPod, the podcast open to everyone, especially Gabriel Kidd. My name is Luke. I'm your host of the NeverOpenPod, and with me, as always, is Mr. Guy. Say hello, Mr. Guy.
Hello, Mr. Guy. Hello, Luke. And hello to the listeners. 2 days, 2 podcasts. Will we do 3 days, 3 podcasts? We'll see.
NeverOpenPod. Yes, we're here to talk about Wrestle Dynasty today. I'm kind of glad we broke these up, actually, because I loved Wrestle Kingdom, and I liked Wrestle Dynasty. Yeah.
Wrestle Dynasty is a weird show. And
Yeah.
we'll talk about it. It was weird in a different way than Wrestle Kingdom was also weird, but it was weird in a different way.
Well, look, I don't mean any disrespect for Wrestle Dynasty, but like, kind of my vibe was, Charity, it's Wrestle Kingdom. Let's put the table out, have some snacks, and she watched most of the show, so it's like that's pretty good for her. Like Wrestle Kingdom, yeah, pretty cool. But my vibe for Wrestle Dynasty was like, you know what? I'll just watch this on my 2-screen kind of computer setup here, and I'll do the notes the usual way. And I think that'll be the vibe for tonight. And I think I was right. I don't think she would have been as engaged by Wrestle Dynasty as she was by a lot of Wrestle Kingdom. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of wrestlers on Wrestle Dynasty. You don't know who the fuck they are, or you don't care, and there's a lot of that going on. So, but it's not a bad show. There's some stuff on here that's legendary. Absolutely. We'll never forget,
Oh, the only bad part of me watching Wrestle Dynasty was like, I know listeners when Mr. Guy's asleep. I've been talking to him for like years now. When we're watching the show, I pretty much know when to stop writing messages because, all right, this motherfucker's asleep and he doesn't want to wake up to like Gabe Kidd. Oh my God, he lost against McKenney, but God, he looked good. Like, you don't want to wake up to shit like that, right? So, yeah, that was probably my only thing. Like, I know you're asleep and I'm watching Kenny versus Gabe and I'm like, you motherfucker, fuck. Now I know who to fucking blame. It's Brody King and David Finlay.
Yeah, they put me to sleep, man.
But I was like, you mother. So, but Ian was up and awake, and he and I were just messaging back and forth. Pretty much, our intellectual discourse was, "Oh my god, they're making Gabe Kidd. This is really good." We'll get to all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, no, but I'll get to hear a lot more of your reactions to that match as we talk about it. We've only touched the surface, I guess, this morning, but yeah. And if anyone wants to contact or interact with us, they can do that. We're on the Blue Skies. Look us up. I'm there. Grumpy2EB. Mr. Guy's there. Drucifer tweets. We don't have a collective Blue Sky yet. I'm gonna do it. I'll work on it because I like it over there more than the other place. All right, that'll be a Luke job. But if you want to send us a written voicemail, you can do that too. NeverOpenPod@gmail.com. Also, if you got any of that Sasha Banks, Monet, kick it our way. We have a Teespring store where you can buy merch that'll make you look never as fucking all through this show. You can see Mr. Guy wearing a Never Open Podcast hoodie. And guess what? They're fucking warm, man. They're really comfortable and warm. And I'd recommend it. In fact, my wife's favorite hoodie are the 2 Never Open ones she has because they're this, when it's winter time, it's just the warmest one she has. I reckon those 2 hoodies by this point could say, Charity is the worst human being. I'm not going to say anything insulting ever, and should still wear it just because they're so comfortable. But
yeah, I don't know what you mean there, but I will tell you this:
it's so comfortable they could say anything on them. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, it is very warm, and I can tell you that from personal experience because if you looked to the left of me, you would see fucking snow coming to ruin my life. And I hate snow, and boy, are we getting some. But you know what I do like, Luke,
clowns.
I like numbers. I don't really like numbers. That was just a shitty transition. I did find out the attendance for Wrestle Kingdom and for Wrestle Dream Dynasty thing.
Right.
So normally Wrestle Kingdom, I think like 30,000 is pretty good. I don't know. I didn't look it up. It's been a while since I've looked at their numbers. I think it'll hold like way more than that, but
yeah,
they drew 24,000 for Wrestle Kingdom this year. I don't think that's great. For Wrestle Dynasty, 16,000. Oh, ouch. So I think that was bad. I don't think that was good at all. So that's a problem. And I think that
New Japan's in a transitional phase at the moment anyway. They're building new people and they're doing yeah. All right.
Well, Wrestle Dream, I have no idea how the pay-per-view buys, and I'm not going to look that up or anything, but I have a feeling they were not good. So just saying, this show is kind of getting thrashed online a little bit because of a few things. And one of them is the fact that I think that New Japan, like management supposedly was not happy with how this all went. So I just... Okay, so the show is supposed to... What's it supposed to be? I don't fucking know. What does Wrestle Dynasty mean? I don't know. I don't know what this show is supposed to be, except that Gabe Kidd's going to return, or excuse me, Kenny Omega is going to return to New Japan in the Dome. That's all the show is. There's nothing else about it that says Dynasty, that says, what is this? Is this an interpromotional show? Why is it called Dynasty? What does that have to do with interpromotional? Someone explain it. No one did. So this show is just a bunch of matches, right?
Yeah. Look, I have been watching AEW each week, mostly Dynamite, but you know, if it's a light wrestling week and I feel like more, I'll watch Collision or something. But I can't give you more facts as to what Wrestle Dynasty is all about and supposed to be. Just that it was on and it's coming up, and here's some of the matches. That's about it. So
I don't care. I'm just saying I think they did a poor job, building this show. They did do a good job building one of the matches we'll talk about, but and I think that the draw and like how it just went down is kind of there's some telling things there. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they telling for you? How do you feel? Are you happy with? Forget Wrestle Dynasty. Just a little bit about Wrestle Kingdom for the moment. Are you happy with the direction New Japan's going at the moment? Like, I know you're probably not 100% happy with everything, and don't worry about injuries. Like, no one can help those. But in general, are you more positive than negative? Do you think?
Yeah, I'm always more positive than negative because I don't.
Yeah, we love shit.
Yeah, but at the same time, there was something missing. Wrestle Kingdom was missing something, and it was these massive stars that main event the show. And so they got to rebuild that. And I get it, but I as far as a direction, there's no other direction to go but to put the title on somebody and build them up like they're doing Zack Sabre Jr. And I'm glad they're doing that with him. It's just, I could see that there's probably complaints. I'm more talking about Wrestle Dynasty because they're two separate things, but the two main events of that show don't have a Japanese person in them. That's kind of a faux pas if you're in Japan.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's pretty stupid? So I think that's part of it. Wrestle Kingdom, obviously it's Shota Umino in the main event, and they're always going to have a Japanese person in the main event because that's just kind of the way it works almost always. And so it's just, this is a rebuilding year, and I think that is reflected by how people are talking about it.
But I think that's good, like for Wrestle Kingdom, because in your main event, you're gonna of Wrestle Kingdom, it's the show where it's gonna have more eyes on it than usual. Of course, New Japan's gonna want one of their homegrown guys, at least one in that main event, right? Mm-hmm. Look, I know there's 4 Gaijins in the main events tonight, but I don't know. I think Gabe Kidd won some people on his side. We'll talk about that.
He did. But there's no guarantee he's not going to leave. You know what I mean? So that's, if you're a Japanese fan, that's what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, I don't care how incredible that night is. It's still, he could leave one day, which I hope he doesn't. I mean, but we've seen that a wrestler can say whatever the fuck they want. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And if a promoter in America thinks they can make them money, they're going to pay them. And so it's like, it's just, you could do whatever you want. So I don't see a problem in the future with Gabe Kidd going to AEW, meaning that could absolutely happen. So I don't want that to happen, but it could absolutely happen no matter what he says or does. So.
Yeah. No, that's it. Like he can position himself like as being as, I don't know, like that Zack Sabre Jr. vibe. Like, I'm not going anywhere. This is where I want to be and stuff. But you got a thing like Zack Sabre Jr. is in his mid-30s now. I'm pretty sure he knows who he is right now and what he wants, and he's on top of the world in New Japan. He's not going anywhere. Gabe Kidd's what, barely 30, something like that.
He's young.
And I'm not going to blame him if he wants a payday at some point. Like, all right, that's fine. But I'd be happy if he just stayed here. Look at his freaking body, man. Like, every time I see him, he's got more kind of like Japanese-inspired tattoos on him.
He loves
I don't know, man. Something tells me he takes this a bit more seriously than the.
He's living the gimmick, that's for sure. You know,
than other foreigners do. So I don't know. I think maybe he thinks that New Japan kind of saved his life, and he's putting all his fucking heart into it. But can everyone tell like what our favorite match was tonight? That's all I fucking want to talk about already.
Well, can I say one negative thing that I just want to get out of the way before, so I don't have to say it again? English commentary, one half of English commentary was absolutely insufferable on this show. And I couldn't do it. I just turned it off because it was so bad. And I don't mean the content necessarily. I mean the way. You know, it's like, because some people are bitching because he called like Tony Khan a money mark or something like that. I don't care. He says shit like that. I don't give a fuck. The constant trying to predict what's going to happen, that I can't handle that. And it happened several times. It happened on Wrestle Kingdom too. And apparently spoiled something for a bunch of people. And the constant high register just for no reason, talking over entrances that everyone should shut the fuck up for. Some of the biggest entrances in this whole weekend, and somebody's talking like this over top of it, just like that. And I just want to fucking reach through the screen and say, shut up, shut the fuck up. So that's my one rant about this show.
All right. Okay. That's fair. When he's talking about the money making stuff though, too, he's not just saying shit. I think like Gabe Kidd's been saying all of that.
Yes, he's just playing a character, which I don't have a problem with. But it's just, it was insufferable, and some of the things he was saying was just ridiculous. And it's just like, dude, you're not. I get the idea. You're like trying to, to stick up for New Japan or whatever, but you're turning yourself heel while you're doing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's fucking bad. Anyway.
All right.
But we did have Walker and Chris Charlton on, on commentary. And one of those guys is awesome. So.
Yeah. I don't really have much to say about the commentary for both nights. I mean, I love Walker. And I don't remember being really particularly annoyed by Chris, mostly because I think I was just so in the mood for these two shows that it's just, I'm watching.
Nothing was going to spoil it. Not even Doki breaking his arm, you know?
Not even Doki breaking his arm spoiled this weekend for me. That might not sound like a big deal for a lot of people, especially any newcomers to this podcast, but if there's a dark cloud that happens on a show,
you're going to stand right under it. So.
I'm going to stand right under it. And every time I try to walk out from under it fucking follows me. I said, get out. Yeah. All right. So,
Luke, there was a pre-show, right?
There was.
There was a pre-show. What was the pre-show?
Let's do it. We got a 4-way match. The 4-way match entitles the winner for a title of their choosing. So we got.
But this is the Women's International Cup, right? This is the finals of a tournament in the pre-show.
Yeah, I have two complaints about this match. One, it's on the pre-show, so like I've been seeing, like, I don't know, you have a tournament and I don't know. All right, that's great. My second niggle will be with the finish, not because how it happened or that it happened. It's just that it happened on a pre-show. Is what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
So I
got you.
The ending is great, but come on, man. All right, we got Momo Watanabe, we got Willow Nightingale, we have Athena, and we have Persephone. Persephone's from CMLL. Willow's repping AEW. Athena, Ring of Honor, and in fact, Athena is the champion herself. So, and Momo from Stardom, and this is fun. Look, I like this match. It's fun. It's very get your shit in type. And maybe like I was just spoiled the night before by that like 15-minute four-way masterpiece. That kind of, I don't know. It felt like this was
New Japan put
definitely
that on YouTube for free, by the way.
what
Let people know that
TV match.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. I hope a lot of people watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah, I guess they do that with all the TV title matches. I forgot, but I was surprised to see it on YouTube this morning. I'm like, oh my god, that's free! I'm gonna watch it again. So
I might actually give that a click too.
I already have it on World, but I want to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, right. I want to give them a click on YouTube to encourage them and like, hey, yeah. So by the way, anyone who listens to this podcast, maybe you can watch us too on YouTube. Just look us up at NeverOpenPod. I forgot to do that bit. So there's a cool torture rack backbreaker kind of combo by Willow on Momo Watanabe. I like it. I like torture rack kind of moves. Persephone is very smart because, and you said this is definitely a luchador thing. If they've got limited time, get all your shit in at no cost, at all costs. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, because Persephone definitely got that memo. She's doing dives all over the place and all this kind of kick-ass shit. She's fucking awesome. I don't really know her that much. She's the newest wrestler to me in this match, so I was probably paying a little bit more attention to her maybe than the other three, just because I was like, oh,
she was easy to pay attention to. So.
Yeah, well, yeah. I wasn't going to say it like that, but
She came out with a mask on, and then at a certain point was like, "No, I don't have a mask." She ripped it off, and I was like, "Hey, cool." I don't know. She was great.
You can remind me what their name is, but Momo Watanabe is in that House of Torture style group in Stardom. Do you remember what their name is? Hate. So
it's not hot. It's hate.
No, it's hate. So one of the hate ladies who's dressed like Stacy Keibler used to be.
Yeah,
in like
what a great. That's great. I love that.
She's got legs. Yeah, I just you guys, everyone listening knows exactly the kind of look I'm talking about, and so she's making sure that like, hey, Momo wins and she gets all the shit in and stuff. She even pulls out the ref at some point, which makes me laugh, right? Because this referee is like 12 feet long, and he could have fucking done a 12 count by the time he was fully pulled out of the ring. And it's not the lady's fault. Like, he's close to the ropes and all that kind of stuff. It's just that genetics gifted him with the fucking height of Jaws from fucking James Bond or some shit. But like skinny and lanky. He's like a super tall dude grandpa, right?
Kind of.
So that made me laugh. I know, and I was like, all right, that's funny. The ref's way too tall.
It was poorly executed as well, because she pulled him out and he didn't go to the ground. He just stood up, and then they're looking at each other, and she goes, "Oh, I didn't do anything. You just saw me do it, but I didn't do anything." And then he just grabs her and looks at her, and they're both like, "I don't know what to do."
They're both looking at each other with a panic look on their face, going, "Are we fucking up at the dome?" Yes.
So funny.
It's not a big deal, but it's just one of those things I noticed because I'm doing notes like an asshole. It was fucking funny though. Oh my god! So the reason that Momo's valet did that, Stacy, was to stop Athena from pinning Willow Nightingale for the 3. And as that lady is being banned, Momo Watanabe, all right, dude, and just the way Athena took this, it's fucking gnarly. She takes a fucking baseball bat to the face. To the face. I don't care how gimmicked it was. I hope it is. I don't want to be gimmicked out the ass. I don't want him to get hurt.
Definitely.
But it looked awesome. Yeah. It looked like Athena got a home fucking run, right? Like Evil, like it's gone. Yeah. Evil looked at that and was like, I like hate. They have parties and they watch horror movies and stuff like that. It's awesome. Man, that sounds like an amazing time to me. So yeah. And then Momo hits her move and pins Athena. And the finish is awesome. The match is a great time. You get a really good feel for all 4 women in the match. And it's great. The only problem I have is, well, the second problem I have is the finish. because commentary points out to me that Athena hasn't been pinned in about 2 years. And she lost on a pre-show. Come on, man.
To that.
Come on, man.
Like, and you don't do shit like that on a pre-show anyway. You wait, like later on you have the matches with all the run-ins and the gimmicks and the shit like that. I know there wasn't any run-ins, but pulling the ref is a type of run-in, and like
yeah, it is.
You don't do that kind of thing on a
it's interference,
match,
yeah. So yeah, it's fun, but I don't know. Maybe it could have been on the card.
Let's move on. Come on. Jesus
All right,
Christ.
I'm sorry.
We've been talking about this match for like 20 minutes. So, did you have anything else that you need to add about this?
Hell no. In fact, tell us what do you think of the next match?
Next match, we have ROH Tag Titles match. It's Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. They're the Texas boys. They will lasso you versus Show and Kanemaru. Hot! And this is for the ROH Tag Titles. So Hot's not winning. And they look like little tiny people compared to Dustin Rhodes, which, by the way, they did say some cool shit. I guess Dustin and Dusty were involved in the very first Wrestle Kingdom, so it's cool to see them here at Wrestle Dynasty.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, that was a thing. But
put Dustin in the Rambo, like
exactly, But Sammy is still very flippy. He's a good wrestler. I just don't really care for him.
He's in the doghouse.
It's funny how if you fuck up enough, they like put you with Dustin Rhodes, because he's the king of fucking up and getting better from it. But I was surprised because Kanemaru does like a 4-stage Suntory surprise on Dustin, involves young Sakamoto. That was really fun, and Dustin like takes a drink of the Suntory. I thought he was like a recovering alcoholic or something, but he shattered kayfabe because it's probably apple juice. But
yeah, it did. That's what I was thinking. As soon as you mentioned that, my brain, I was just about to go, it's fucking green tea, isn't it?
That's funny. So, Sentown on Kanemaru, and Dustin makes the pin to retain. So Dustin didn't even hit the finishing move. Like Sammy hits it and then he makes the pin. I was like, okay, whatever.
That is doghouse shit, right?
Yeah, Hot looks stupid there. So that was the pre-show, right?
Yes, that is the pre-show. Let's go into the main show, and we start with a really fun, let's get all our shit in, with some awesome fucking moments involved as well. It is what is dubbed a lucha gauntlet match. And I guess this match could end before everybody's out. Is that the feeling?
Yeah, it was like there's up to 8 competitors. One of them comes out like every couple minutes, but if somebody pins somebody, they win. So
It's easier for me to do it this way if I can just mention everybody that's in this match. We got Hechicero, who's the only heavy in this match. So, that's going to...
He doesn't know that, though.
No, he doesn't know that. It's Kosai Fujita. We got Sobrano Jr., Master Watu.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Masquerada Dorada. Did I get that right? I hope so.
Sure,
Taiji Ishimori. Thank you. Yes, please. Tito and El Desperado.
Oh, the new champion.
So it's really cool stuff. We get lots of fucking awesome wrestling. There's just beautiful looking dives, things that you never know what you're going to get with a match like this. And I don't mean any disrespect to luchadors, but you got 2 styles: success or crash and burn. Mind you, the person I think I've seen crash and burn more than any other, well, isn't even a luchador. It's fucking Sabu.
Wow. He's kind of luchador-y.
Yeah. So... Adjacent. Luchador adjacent. I don't know, man. So, all right. So Despy comes out last. So we're getting really cool stuff with all the other dudes beforehand. But when El Desperado comes out, it's just fucking... I love it, because he comes out and suddenly every other wrestler in the ring, except maybe Hechicero, because he's not as bothered, because turns out he's the only heavyweight in the match.
Oh, well, no, he's standing there doing the fucking discount double check. He wants the belt too. That was hilarious.
Hey, All right, if you're a wrestler and they book you in a title match, even for something
Yeah.
you're not in the weight class for, are you gonna say no? No. Fucking make give Sarah the title and have him do the fucking Matt Hardy version 1 gimmick or something.
Sure.
He's obviously too heavy for it, but whatever.
Version Uno.
Yeah, that's right. But as Despi's walking down the ramp, he kind of slows down because everyone's looking at him. Why? Oh yeah, he's got a giant ass fucking target on his back. This would have been amazing had it been a full match yesterday with Desperado winning or with Doki winning, whatever. The moment hits, perfect, right? It doesn't matter. I mean, it sucks the injury happened and all that, but that moment works. It's hilarious. And the wrestlers all standing around and thinking like, well, he's walking down the ramp awfully slow, isn't he? So they fucking get him.
Let's go get him. And Watto leads the pack. Let's go get him, boys.
Oh, yeah. Look, even Watto's like, dude, we're bros, but like, I want that. And I think El Desperado would have it no other way,
Sure,
right? Like, he wouldn't
sure.
respect, like, he'd understand. He gets it. You know, hey, Doki's one of his boys too. You know, he totally gets it. So yeah, they bring Desperado into the ring. And they all do fucking power moves on the poor guy. All of them. Even Hechicero, even Watto.
The same like lucha like slam thing. They're like, I can do the lucha slam better. Boom. You know?
Yeah. My version's more crisp. My version gets more slam. My version gets more air.
It was
fun. My version looks like it's gonna kill him more. Oh my god. And it's just so fucking fun. I'm absolutely having this man. Whatever you think of these two nights, they both did the smart thing by starting with the juniors, because I think the junior division, and I know there's a lot of like CMLL guys here too, but you know they're part of it. Like the junior division in New Japan's really fucking good. And I feel like these two nights kind of showcase just how fucking good they are. And it's awesome. So what happens here is like Ishimori does Ishimori kind of steal the pin from Fujita, I think, like that?
Fujita, yes.
He steals the pin from Fujita and pins El Desperado. So guess what? I want that. Ishimori Despi. And Fujita's pissed off. So like, he's like, I killed this guy. He's mine. So I'm like, Dream? Mm-hmm.
Well, how about Ishimori versus Fujita? You know, and then the winner of that gets the title shot. So that's probably what we're going to do here. You know,
I'm into it. And hey, give you know, maybe Fujita someone important to maybe beat before moving up to a title shot. I don't care if he wins that. I'm just like, I want to see him have a shot. So yeah.
Well, they had some beef at the, you know, Ishimori Goes Crazy pay-per-view. Like Ishimori came out as like a young lion and had to face a bunch of people, and one of them was Fujita. So like they got beef from that already. So there's a little bit of beef. I don't think they've ever faced each other other than that, and in World Tag League maybe 2 years ago or something like that, or last year. So but that was a lot of fun. Set up some cool stuff for the future. That match was a blast. Desperado's reaction to what happens is hilarious. He's all disheveled, his hair's all out of his mask, and he's like fucking just walks away with the title like, holy shit, I'm lucky. Even though he just got pinned, he didn't lose his title. So that was awesome. So all right, next week we had something that was shoehorned into the show, and no one knew how this was going to go, right? Because this was the special 5-minute exhibition match, grappling only. Tanahashi versus Shibata. Shibata, this is one of those times when I wish commentary would have just been quiet so we could hear Shibata's music and hear him coming to the ring, but we couldn't. We had to hear, you know, we had to hear that. So it's fucking bullshit, man. I'm just like, dude, this is a big moment for a fan like me. I haven't seen him in a New Japan ring in a long time, and I kind of like to hear what the crowd does, but we don't get to hear that really until later on. So whatever, this match is cool. These two get in the ring, And they're like, yeah, we're just going to do lockups, right? But then Shibata kind of gets the better of Tanahashi, and he chops Tanahashi, and Tanahashi chops him back. So this match is 5 minutes. 1 minute is maybe holds and standing there, and the rest is chops. And they chop each other a million times. Something interesting happens too. So the bell rings after 5 minutes of just them chopping each other, and the only person that takes a swing after the bell is Tanahashi. He takes one more swing, and it's like, fuck you, dude. But Shibata does not. They shake hands, they hug it out. It's very cool. And, maybe there's a future for Shibata now that he showed he could follow the rules. Or did he go in there and start chopping Tanahashi when he wasn't supposed to? And Tanahashi was like, cool, bro, I'll chop you back. We did it. I don't know. It's fun. It'll be fun to find out.
I don't know either. I remember being excited. Tanahashi versus Shibata. Yay! 5 minutes. Fuck. Because I know that 5 minutes is going to be good. And it was. It was fucking awesome. But it's also 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh. I could have watched, man. They could have fucking... If that was booked as a fucking normal match, I would have sold at least like 5,000-6,000 more tickets for that show. Right?
Do you think that they did that because ticket sales were low?
Yeah.
Could be.
What if these guys just for 5 minutes? Some people might have said yes. Hey, if I was on the fence, I would have said yes, maybe.
Absolutely.
5 minutes of that. Like,
absolutely.
But if I was able to afford it, I already would have bought my ticket for Gabe Kidd and.
But Luke, what a big moment! I mean, me and you, Shibata is a big part of our fandom of New Japan, or has been in the past. We haven't seen him in the ring in such a long time. Well, I haven't seen him at all. You've seen him, in AEW and stuff like that, but I haven't seen him at all. So, like, what did you think of all that?
I loved it. Like, I enjoy seeing him in AEW. Like, it's fun, but I don't know. It hits different when they're in Japan, doesn't it?
Versus Tanahashi? Yes.
Yeah.
At the Dome?
Yes. Right? Yeah. No, it's fucking awesome. You get to see these two people in the ring again. Yeah, it's a fleeting 5 minutes, but, it's 5 minutes more than we ever thought we'd ever get, ever. So, I'll take it. I'll take the dribs and drabs if they're always of this quality anyway. So, all right.
Well, I don't think they're going to do that again. I think this, like I said, this was something to prove, hey, are you going to follow the rules? And maybe he did, maybe he didn't. We'll see, so.
Yeah. I can understand at first their reticence with Shibata because, like, he nearly fucking died. And that's a big deal. Like, of course.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of a big deal.
But wrestling, yeah, it is. Like, I'm don't mean to downplay it, but we've seen it a lot by now. Wrestlers who have taken 4 to 5 years off, and just look at them go. Brian's one of them. Fucking, I remember Shawn Michaels coming back after 5 years, and that Street Fight.
No, he was good. He was good. You're right. Soraya, there's been a bunch of them, but you're right.
Yeah. So, at some point, like, has their caution become over caution at some point? Do you think?
I don't know. Yeah. I guess we'll see. What was the next match, Luke?
All right. We got Mina Shirakawa, who is the Rev Pro Women's Champion, versus Mercedes Moné, who's got fucking more gold than Ultimo Dragon did in WCW 97 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She is.
But she dances.
Oh,
the CEO dance.
And she's a lot more nice to look at than Ultimo Drag. I'll admit. So
we don't know. He's a masked wrestler. He's probably very handsome under there. You know what I mean? It's like, how that works.
Come on, man. I'm going to watch a handsome stud take on a dog later, and it's going to be awesome. All right. So, look, I really like this match. It's a very well wrestled match. And I think that about most of Mercedes Moné's matches, they're enjoyable to watch. it's just maybe it's just the same kind of spectrum with Shooter Umino. Like the wrestling works for me, the kind of look works for me as well. Maybe not the personality or the character. And she also is on that thing at the moment that I absolutely hate, which means a wrestler is a piece of shit. And you know what that is?
I don't know.
She wins too much. So yeah,
can't do that.
But this is a fucking really cool match, and Mina Shirakawa has been on AEW TV quite a lot lately, so I've been really getting to know her. She had a title match against Mariah May, which she lost, but that's it's going to be an ongoing thing, I guess, with her, Tony Storm, and all that kind of stuff. But so I like that she can do the kind of Western story kind of stuff as well, but also be an absolute Joshi badass. So she's great. I like seeing Monet get a figure 4 around the ring post as well, which is really good. I think her selling's never fucking mentioned enough because she's got that kind of selling where if you're a ref, you just want to keep like squatting next to her going, "You okay?" And
yeah,
you can imagine her getting so pissed off, just swats them. It's like, get the fuck out of here, I'm selling. But it's fucking really cool stuff. We get to see Mina do some gnarly shit and Mona just bump like a maniac. Awesome reversals and things like that too. But then I'm just so ready for a change. I think the crowd, even the Japanese crowd, is a little bit too. I think everybody knows we're ready to see Monet lose now. But she hits her finishing move and pins Mina Shirakawa to not only retain one of the many belts that she was defending that night, but also to add to her collection. What do you think?
I like this match a lot. Like Mercedes Monet, all of her offense is knee based. It's like all meteoras and shit like that. And so
some great knee smashes and shit. Mm-hmm.
So Mina Shirakawa was going fuck your leg, and it worked. It should have worked. I mean, I don't know why it didn't, honestly, but it should have worked. But she has a million belts now, Mercedes Monet does, and she cried after the match. And I mean, I'm happy for her. She got a big dome moment. Didn't she win at the Dome before too, though? I think last posed with Okada once. I think that happened. So I don't know. This match was kind of a downer for me because I wanted Mina Shirakawa to win.
Yeah, me too.
So that was my rooting interest. However, I think it's a very good match, and I like them. I just feel bad for Mina Shirakawa because I don't know. This is maybe this is part of the problems with the show that people see is if you're an AEW fan, I guess do you feel like that your team won? If you're you know what I mean? If you're a New Japan fan, did your team win? Is it even like that? It's it's just kind of confusing. And this match has a little of that. My emotions are confused about it. So, which wrestling shouldn't be confusing. It should be pretty straightforward. So, but that could be a me problem. So this is the match. The next match is the one where I fell asleep, and it was it was just a special singles match, not a global title match. It was because Finlay lost the belt anyway, but it's Brody King versus Finlay, and Finlay is quasi babyface in this match because both these guys are heels. He does a big dive off the top rope, but mostly just takes huge move after huge move, and he looks like a hero after he finally power bombs, Brody late in the match and hits an overkill and wins. It was John Cena booking for Finlay.
Weird, right?
I don't like it. It's very good match, but the dynamics of it.
We don't want to cheer Finlay. I think you and I like this bruiser asshole that we're getting. That's what we want from him. And it doesn't usually work if you're going to put him against guys that are way bigger than he is. It's especially since they're both heels as well.
I'd rather. Why not just Brody be the face in that situation? You know what I mean? Why would you? But there's some reason behind it that I don't understand. But it's just you can't have the most dastardly heel in the same building the next night be a baby face, and it's okay. Even fucking Gato was cheering on, Finlay like he was a face manager and shit, and it was I don't like it. I don't know. Gabe Kidd, we'll talk about him being a face later. I love that. This I don't like. So you can't win with me. So
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the way Gabe Kidd does it is completely different, which I think is the reason it works. Because Finley's trying to stay in character, whereas I don't know, Gabe's trying to project.
Gabe's also wrestling one of the most famous wrestlers in the entire world. Whereas, no offense to Brody King, but he's not as famous as Kenny Omega, is he?
No, absolutely not. Yeah. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. All right, so the next match is also kind of weird, and I guess they don't want to do Shooter versus Moxley yet, so we have Claudio Castagnoli versus Shooter Umino, and hey, look at that, we get a Katamari Gambit by Claudio Castagnoli.
Well, he had the motorcycle out again, though. Common Rider came into town again, and they got destroyed by Claudio on the entrance ramp. Yeah. I wish he would have fucking clotheslined him off the motorcycle. That would have been way better. So.
Yeah, that would have been fucking cool, but that does not happen. But Shooter got a fucking weekend deal on that motorbike, so he's got to bring it both times. Why the fuck not? For some reason, like his motorbike entrance and walking down the long ramp felt shorter than his a normal Korakuen Hall entrance for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's because the motorbike kind of speeds him up. Fucking
less babies to kiss. You can't kiss babies when you're on the bike. So.
Well, he was pissed off that there was like 10,000 less babies than there were last night. So he was like, "Fuck it, no one's getting a wristband." So, this is a weird match, mostly because like the story is good. The story here is Shooter Umino has like, look, I'm a babyface and I know I'm kind of tied with like Mox, but I can't like support what he's doing. Just think of the children, So he's like, oh, they're that's not wrestling, that's bad, like that's and so of course they're going to take exception to that, and they're going to the bad guys, the Death Riders, and they're going to beat Shooter up. The story's there. This is to kind of make Shooter seem like a baby face and stuff, though. Yeah. There's just like the crowd isn't ready to cheer him for this story yet. It's a good story, with the Moxley stuff that can lead to maybe Shooter eventually beating John Moxley, which is something that doesn't happen that often. It's really good, but he's in a weird spot right now where, despite being really good in the ring, having a good look, all this kind of stuff, crowd is kind of booing, is booing him, and I don't know, Claudio's, I think, really trying to kind of heal it up and all that kind of stuff, but it's just a really weird kind of crowd reaction for this match. And maybe I feel a little bit about this match the same way you did about the previous match. It's good. It just feels weird to me. It's fucking well wrestled. There's some really amazingly stiff European uppercuts and strikes and stuff like that. It's really good. And I'd like to see a bit more Claudio in New Japan, actually. I would love that.
Yeah, he needs to come to the G1. I mean, come on, man. Come on.
I would absolutely love it. The guy's just a clinician. Is pretty much what I'd call Claudio Castagnoli, right? He's just, he can do it all and make it look absolutely fantastic. And so it's a good physical match, and Shooter wins with the Death Rider. And it was good. It was weird. Yeah.
I think when you have these multi-promotion things going on, you have too many stories going on with one person.
Yeah.
And I think that might be part of what's going on here with Shooter is that, well, if you went to Wrestle Kingdom where you're still kind of thinking about what happened literally hours before this, and now you're supposed to be like, oh, fuck Claudio, and I'm here for the Shooter. But what about what just happened? So it's like, it's just really moving quick story-wise, and I think there's maybe too much going on here for my simple mind to grasp. So, that's what I find. But I thought the match was very good. I thought, Claudio looked like a fucking monster and Shota looked like a hero. And, I think it was like a super Death Rider or whatever that he won with. If we can somehow get him a different move in this story, that would be cool, because it's dumb as shit that he's just doing everyone else's moves. That was never smart to begin with. When he was a young first coming in, that was cool. But like then he started doing Will Ospreay's moves, and then he did the other guys, did Tanahashi, and and it's like, enough, bro. Just get your own shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we want to see you do. So do that.
Yeah.
So
let's look. We know who's influenced you, Shooter. We know. Now,
where's your jacket?
Yeah, where's your fucking? Yeah, he needs to. You know what I'd do? Because I might forget later. I think at this point I might turn him heel, and I might faceify a little bit Gabe Kidd, or bake him a bit more of a fucking lone wolfish badass or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll talk about it. But next, Luke, we have a match that we loved. That was maybe one of the best matches of the whole weekend. And one of the reasons I just want to set this up, last night, yesterday, we talked about the build to this match and how simple it was, but how effective it was. And we wanted to see Ishii versus Takeshita, just because Ishii looked at him. And it was just so great. So that's what we get. It's a never open title match. It's Ishii versus Takeshita. And Ishii this is so wild. I've never seen this before, I don't think. They start hitting each other, and Ishii smiles and looks like he's having fun. I've never seen Ishii have any fun of doing anything. I was like, I couldn't believe it. He was having a good time, man. And,
dude, he's wrestling someone else who took the long way around to a New Japan spot in the Tokyo Dome. The night after he's wrestled Shingo, who also took the fucking long way around, and the three of them, continue, man.
One of the reasons I love this match is because it is a real Never style match. It's if you went and watched any old Ishii Never open title match, it would be very similar to this, like the same mirror spots, whatever you can do, I can do, but in this big long sequence, it's all that stuff that we love, and just monster moves and guys trying to kill each other with strikes and stuff. It is fantastic. They're also trash talking right and left, which is fun, so we get big forearm wars, we get the mirror spots, we get huge dodges that lead to big moves. Takeshita hits an insane, release German suplex, and then follows up with a sliding D, and that was just unbelievable. He hit a super Falcon Arrow off the second or top rope that was insane. He did the Bastard Driver, big wheelbarrow suplex, and a lariat, but Ishii's up at 1. Ishii hits a monster suplex of his own and a lariat, but Takeshita's up at 1. And this is part of that back and forth thing that we always talk about. And then they both go down selling drunk, and that was so good, man. I know that spot's coming, and it's always great. I don't care. If Ishii's in it, other people try to do it. I don't like it. So, but these two look at each other, and they look down, and they both seem surprised that they have each other by the belt, with their left hand. And they're like, well, what am I doing with this hand? Bow! They just start hitting each other. And, and Ishii, of course, gets floored, because his favorite thing to do is to, get knocked down and make the person in the ring with him look awesome. So he gets knocked down. But then they climb up to the top rope, and they're fighting, and Ishii hits a super Frankensteiner off the top.
Fucking Steiner. Are you serious?
And I mean, he leapt from the side rope to the dude's, Takeshita's shoulders, and pulled him down that way.
Oh, yeah. He's not climbing up and tentatively putting one leg here, one leg there, and then doing it. No. Bounce, boom, done. Man. What the fuck?
He did that in one of my favorite never open title matches ever, which is him versus Ibushi. He did that in that match, and it was like onto something too. It was like a ladder or something. They killed each other in that match. Anyway, these guys hit big strikes, and Ishii hits big lariats right and left for near falls. The crowd's fucking on fire, stomping their feet. We get a brain buster from Takeshita. That's Ishii's move. God damn it! Reverse Rana from Ishii. And then Ishii starts absorbing big knee shots, and he's just like, getting all mad. But Falcon Arrow, Takeshita wins. Boo. But man, that was never as fuck.
No, I'm not booing. You said it yesterday. You're like, if they were going to put the Never Open title, our title, on someone from AEW, I'm glad it's Takeshita. And
Yeah, this is the
yeah, me
guy.
too. So there's news about Takeshita, which we'll talk
Yes, there
about
is.
in just a moment. I don't care what anyone says about this weekend. Like, I know my favorite wrestler got fucked up and he's injured. We don't know when he's coming back, all that stuff. But I got to see two amazing Never Open title matches back to back. Two! They're fucking awesome! Dude! One had Shingo in it, one had Ishii in it. Both had Takeshita in it. Dude, Takeshita started in AEW as enhancement talent that was getting more cheers than the person he was trying to enhance. Like, that they had to push this man because he was just like, who's this handsome Japanese tank man? I want to see him beat people up and win. Dude, I don't mind if look, I don't mind if he suddenly has a title match tomorrow night and he loses and he's back off to America. I understand, that's fine. I also don't mind if he keeps that beautiful Never Open gold for a little bit longer because he is never as fuck. He fits
What's
that
the
title.
news? Yeah.
The news is, it turns out everybody wants a slice of the Takeshita because they fucking should. And he's done a deal where he gets to pretty much work for DDT, AEW, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. What a way to make, like, he's keeping his finger in this pie and this pie and this pie, and he's making sure people over there see him. He's making people sure over there see him, and he's making sure people over here see him now too. He's putting eyes on himself, and he's having absolute fucking amazing matches at the same time, and he's doing it. Konosuke is my jam.
he will have to join a faction to be in New Japan. So what are we thinking here?
I'd Empire him up.
Is that would make sense, right? Because of Don Callis and all that, right? Or doesn't he hate Will Ospreay now or something?
I don't give a shit.
Well, I was asking, what would make the most sense.
I guess.
So, I mean,
I guess.
It'd be funny if he joined House of Torture. I would love that. So, we did have Rocky join commentary here, and I was like, oh, cool, a different voice to ignore. He's not bad. Nothing wrong with Rocky.
He's fine. Rocky. He's fine. I like Rocky, yeah. But all right, so next we have for the global title, which is different to the world title, I assure you, because it doesn't say heavyweight in it at all.
Well, that's not what's next, actually. It's the IWGP heavyweight tag.
Yes. All right, cool. All right, so we got Great-O-Khan on the Cobb, which is Great-O-Khan and Jeff Cobb, versus Nick and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks. This is Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito. I like a lot of things in this match. I don't. The finish doesn't excite me in any way, shape, or form, mostly because of who wins. And
this was like no tags, though. Everyone was legal at all times, which was weird. So
that's right. And I think Great-O-Khan, what he shows me in this match is he hasn't found a fucking tag partner fucking worthy of him yet. That's fucking like, because man, so many last ditch effort saves and all this kind of stuff, taking bullets for motherfuckers, all this kind of stuff.
It's true.
I'm like, this guy isn't just the wingman you want at parties because you just don't know what the night's going to happen. This is the guy you want in your corner when you're tagging with him, man. So I'm like, he needs a stable tag partner, I think, and I don't know. So he was a pretty big highlight for me. I really loved seeing him in this match. I like seeing him interact with the Bucks. That's pretty fun. And it's always awesome when Great-O-Khan's getting his hands on that and Tetsuya Naito and vice versa. So there's lots of things I like about this match. It's very Bucks dominated as well. I get it. I haven't been in Japan for a while, and it's for the crowds and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But at some point, I was like, all right, this is cool. So I'm ready for Empire or LIJ to have gold. And then my brain's just like, you don't put the stank titles on Hiromu or Naito. Like, get the fuck out of here.
These
like,
belts don't matter.
No, right? And I'm like, you don't. Like, they're singles guys. They can do this kind of stuff, but they don't need to. You know exactly what I'm saying. And then I'm thinking like, all right, cool. Great Khan should have some gold, man. Like he should be number one contender, but he should have some gold. Let's do it. No, he gets the TK driver, I guess they're calling it now, or whatever, or the TK, whatever. He gets one of the many finishing moves that the Young Bucks have. 1, 2, 3. Man, he loses. He gets pinned, and 1, 2, 3. We have new tag team champions, and it is Nick and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks. They're looking to strengthen some ties here and there with AEW. I don't know.
I mean, that's fine. I don't hate them. They're great wrestlers. And they did a good job. They were really good in this particular style of match. Also, I thought it was funny that Hiromu and Naito brought their trophies to cash them in for this, fucking this title shot, which I thought was funny. So this was the match that this all led to, which is kind of fun. But I thought that there was a lot of fun stuff too, where the Bucks get set up to be assholes and ruin shit, and it worked out really well. Like, for example, Cobb gets that spot again where he's going to dive on everybody and then gets super kicked by both Bucks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of they're really good at that kind of stuff, and they healed it up. But I thought this match moved. Like, it was over in an instant. This match really was, man. It was wow, there's a lot of shit happened. I thought it was really good. And I don't know what this means for those titles, but I don't care. Take them to AEW. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Now Great Khan doesn't have to worry about chasing them anymore. So
my tag team division is the junior tag team division. That's the one I like.
Well, Goto's busy too now. So he can't just be going after tag titles. So because he's now number one contender.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't he come out the end of the night? He's at home sleeping.
He's sleeping, man.
All right, Luke. The next match I loved. It was the global title match. It's Jack Perry versus Yota Tsuji.
I love this too. Yeah.
Jack Perry has Evil's scythe. I wonder what Milano thinks of that. I wish I understood Japanese so I could find out, because he came out with Evil's getup on, and I'm like, what the fuck? You can't do that. But so Tsuji comes to the ring, and I noticed something very interesting. Not smiling, fucking pissed off, not happy at all. He doesn't smile till the end of the match, and that is rare. Usually he comes out, showing all his teeth and everything. So it's funny, Tsuji turns away from the ring at the beginning of this to take a dive from Perry, which is kind of dangerous, but subtly really cool and worked really well. I don't think I see usually guys want to face the guy diving, but he turned away on purpose and started acting like he was talking to Milano or Tanahashi, who was on commentary, and they got blasted, and it was okay, I like that. That was cool.
It was
the crowd goes silent when Jack's on offense. He only gets booed when he asks for it, which is bad, but it's still, they're so mad at him. So, but we get some really great stuff in this match. Of course, Tsuji hits a Spanish fly at one point. He what's his name? The jungle guy. He hits a running knee to counter the Gene Blaster. They're both down. We get a big strike off bouye and a really awesome looking jumping DDT from Jack Perry. Fucking cool. That is a near ref bump, but then that's just distracts so that he can hit a low blow. Perry hits some driver looking thing for 2, but then his jeans are blasted and Tsuji wins and then smiles, although still looks thoroughly annoyed.
Yeah, this was great. It's like that little stint in New Japan and to now, he's just become so good, Jack Perry, and him and Yota Tsuji are fucking awesome. I have one nitpick, and I'm like, my one nitpick is this. I'm like, where the fuck was the rest of House of Torture?
Yeah, they left him out to dry, didn't they?
Yeah. So, you didn't have to make a big thing of it. Maybe you can have even just Yujiro just give us, or Togo give us sneaky I've grabbed his legs so when he hit the ropes or something like that. And huh? I don't know, something, but. Or pull the ref out once or something.
Well, they didn't run in to help House of Torture in the pre-show either. They're like, we're not booked, brother. So they're not coming.
Yeah, no. All right, so.
Yeah. We're going to pay Dick Togo.
No, they weren't. Oh, my God. All right. So the next match is. Oh, my God.
match.
Yeah. I feel bad for Ricochet and Zack Sabre Jr., who wrestle a really good match.
Agreed.
Yeah. This is Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd. We get big entrance Gabe Kidd. You know,
Can we talk about that? Let's talk
Yeah,
about
do
it,
it.
right? So the entrance, like we didn't do a very good job describing this stage setup yesterday when we were talking about Wrestle Kingdom. The amount of screens that they have, like in the size of them, is like it's like half of the Tokyo Dome is taken up by this giant fucking thing of screens. And so when he comes out, it's Gabe Kidd, it's all over the place, and it's fantastic. Did you notice what he was wearing?
He was wearing like an Inoki kind of robe.
Kinda. He always wears a robe to the ring, but when he revealed his shorts,
Oh yeah,
he had Alex Coughlin bike shorts on, and on the bike shorts
is the lion mark, baby.
The lion mark, and that was a big reveal and a big part of this match. But the entrances were fantastic for both these guys. I just got to put over Gabe Kidd's like gear and what he was doing with that.
So he's walking down. He's got it's interesting too because he is in Bullet Club and he's got two juniors coming down with him to the ring to cheer him on. I wonder if that's a mirror of anything, you know? Yeah, so I kind of like that.
He has a new song too, by the way. That's a new song, right? So
ready, yeah. I've heard it a few times, but yeah, I don't know. I like it. It's catchy. Yeah.
There's like fire spouting out of the stage, like to the beat
dude.
and shit like that. And he was walking too close to it. He doesn't give a fuck. You know, he's got spots he's supposed to hit, right? And you can see the guys walking up and looking down because they're trying to hit their spot, to pause for the camera. But he's not looking down. He's walking right up to the fire and just yelling at the crowd. And I'm like, oh my God. It's awesome.
Dude's pumped for his own. Like oh my God, I've got fucking fire. Let's go. He gets right down to ringside, takes off his robe. He's got more ink on his arm. He's getting a sleeve. It all looks Japanese inspired too, so it's fitting the theme that he's got on his knee and elsewhere. And then he removes his pants, and yes, he's got the Alex cut. The android's shorts, and then the fucking crowd marks out, seeing the lion mark on there, and he gets in, and he's like, "Come on!"
He shows it to Tanahashi too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he jumps.
On commentary. Yeah,
he jumps over and gets into Tanahashi's face, and he's like, "I'm fucking here for New Japan, motherfucker."
That's like, right. I'm representing this place for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
And this is a fucking guy from Bullet Club just staring him down like that and just going, "This is what I'm gonna do." Jumps back over, he gets in. Kenny's fucking entrance. He's got new music. Part of me was hoping for the old I
know, I love
music from New Japan. Yeah, but I'm not mad. This music's really awesome. There's ripped, and then there's like two different other kinds of ripped that are higher than that are maybe a bit evil. There's the level. There's like ripped, then there's Ishimori and Kenny Omega kind of ripped, like that kind of level of fitness. I'm like, I can't fathom that kind of what you need to do to get that.
He also, his gear had something interesting. This is really nitpicky, but I'm a big Kenny Omega fan. Like his New Japan stuff, that's one of the reasons I loved it. I mean, I have his picture up here signed, and like he usually only has feathers on one side of him, because he's got one wing, right? He had it on both.
There you go.
I've never seen that before. So very interesting commentary from me about this match.
And I love his face too, because he's got a serious look on his face too. He's not taking this match lightly. And can I just say before we even talk about the match itself, is Kenny could have punched his fucking meal ticket for his return match, right? Do you agree? Like he pretty much could have picked his shot. Like this is who I want to wrestle. But it doesn't even if the person had a title, make an exhibition, doesn't matter, whatever. He could have pretty much picked his shot. Meaning like, and maybe a draw against the top guy, maybe it would have put more butts in seats or whatever. I don't know. But what I do know is I'm so happy it's one of this new crop. And like, I know.
A former leader of Bullet Club going after one of the like young stars of Bullet Club. That it's not mentioned in the match. Like it's mentioned
it's
in
there.
the text of the match, yes, but not like no one says it. You know what I mean? But it's like it's in the moves, and like this match is fantastic.
This match
I'm all like giddy.
How does this match start? Oh yeah, put them up. Let's fucking go. They fucking start swinging at each other, and they get going at it, and I think there's a moment early on in this match that Kenny's like, "Oh, is that how it is now? Is it?" Because Gabe Kidd does the Canadian double suplex them both out of
he upset the apple cart over the ropes, and they go tumbling to the floor, and I was like, "That's my fucking shit. That is my guy doing my shit."
Oh my god,
I loved it.
You know, and Kenny's down, fucking Kid's going around. He grabs a table, he puts it next to another table. He's like, "I'm gonna fuck Kenny up." Puts him into rails and stuff. Kenny takes over though. Fucking does an awesome dive, and he's just like, "You just came back, man. Holy shit, relax." No, fuck you, relax. You know that Kenny, he ain't doing that. He's like Hiromu when he comes back from injury, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, his diverticulitis was flaring up a little bit. He kept grabbing his side. Oh no, like diverticulitis.
Of course you're gonna sell that though. Like you have
to. So funny. Man.
But and yeah, he does his flip, and he's just like, just something snaps in him, and he pretty much just picks Gabe Kidd up and urinages him through fucking both tables. So he's down. Oh, the refs. This is a no. I don't think there's DQs in this, and even if there was, Red Shoes is not doing that. So just forget about that, everyone, because there's going to be all sorts of wild shit. I don't remember them stating it was a death match or anything like that, but they just go and it's fine.
It wasn't Red Shoes either. It was what's his name, the AEW.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, it's Bryce Remsburg. Yeah.
And when they did that power bomb through the tables or whatever, he was calling for medical and no one came. He kept calling for medical, going like this, no one came. And then like Kenta Sato showed up, and it's like, no, not you. That made me laugh.
Welcome to Japan, Bryce.
That's not part of the script, man. Fuck you. So
yeah, that's right, man. He should have maybe brushed up on some Japanese refereeing, gone to Chumpy's Chump Bump boot camp or something like that.
But the reason that happened though, so Kenta Sato and Sakamoto come up, and they're all confused. But that all happens because Kenny's because Gabe Kidd's blading. So they're doing that to distract while he's blading, and he comes up all fucking bloody, and there's blood everywhere.
Oh yeah, is this the part where like he gets up to and like Kenny just dives on everyone and stuff too? It's like it's fucking So
and he starts selling his hip, and it looks like it was real ouchie.
Oh, dude. So Kenny's. By the way, Kenny puts Gabe through the table. Guess what?
Boo.
And my face, I'm just like, what?
Yeah. It's like, and so Kenny leans into it, which they knew this was going to happen. This is this is what they're trying to do. And like, he is like selling his hip after that dive, and they're booing him and shit. And like, this crowd, by the way, going nuts for them selling. Like they'll just sell, and the crowd's like, wow. But Kenny attacks Sho Makato. Sho Makato's like, "You okay?" And he's like, "Fuck you!" And he demands ice and like pushes him down. And Neva's like, "Oh, fuck you!"
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm surprised by the reactions, but I've watched this match twice, by the way. I squeezed it in this morning before we recorded again because like I watched a lot of amazing wrestling. Like I saw 2 amazing Never title matches, all that kind of stuff, right? But this is sometimes you watch something and like I'm pretty sure I just watched something fucking special right here.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Big time.
And I'm so happy. Like Kenny in Japan, I think he hits different for me maybe than Kenny in AEW. He's still great. Like I don't know. I can't put a fault wrong with him, man. Like he knows, like to lean into it. Oh, I'm getting this reaction. Well, I've wrestled here for years, fine, I'm going to lean into it. It fucking works. The crowd's getting even more engaged. Oh my God. And then both men go into, they're in the ring now, fucking, and they both go for it. And they're just wailing on each other, fucking suplexes, pile drivers and stuff. And it's just brutal. Now, at what point, what busts Kenny open? Because I didn't expect that either. Like he's already doing more than I anticipated him. Maybe I shouldn't have thought like this. I was a silly dum head. Didn't realize that he was just gonna be like, "Hey, I'm best friends with a Bushi. What do you think I'm gonna do on my match back? I'm going fucking insane."
Gabe Kidd's not gonna let him go out there and just mail it. Like,
and that's the thing too,
right?
And that's the thing too, because like Gabe Kidd's out there repping New Japan. He's taking that shit seriously. He's gonna hit you. He's gonna fucking suplex you. Some of the suplex bumps that Kenny takes from this man are absolutely fucking incredible. But it's not just his offense that I like. I think I've said it before. Kid's got a very Neville way of selling. Like, you earned him going down.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. It's kind of like an Ishii kind of Shingo vibe. You know that he loves that shit. I'm surprised I haven't put him in that division yet. Come on, yes.
Well, maybe one day. But what happens with Kenny getting busted open is Kid sets up a table, brainbuster through the table after a dramatic struggle in the clutch, and then Gabe Kidd does the Shibata pose.
Oh, that's right.
And then he gets up and hits Kenny with pieces of the table, and the War Juniors come over and go nuts and start celebrating. But that's the cover because Kenny comes up bleeding.
Yeah, because he's
got blood all over his hands somehow. It's all over the place.
It's so Oh, of course, we know what's happening. It's wrestling, but I'm allow it because it was always so well done. Like, I feel like they got away with it. They filled the time in with stuff going on that I'm just like, yeah, I know you're just fucking, but the story is just so fucking good. Who gives a shit?
Kenny even slips on the ropes trying to get up him because he has so much blood on his hand. He slips and can't get up the ropes.
The fucking Shibata pose was just like one of those moments where the crowd, some of them are like, oh, others are like, So, like, there's still a bit of that because it's still Gabe Kidd though, but Ian said it best on Blue Sky, like that Gabe Kidd became a face just by taking his pants off. Right?
He did, yeah. Like Okada that one time. But every time Gabe Kidd would pause and look to the crowd, you hear the Gabe Kidd chants. You hear him, and the War Dogs are agging him on and like kind of doing that like babyface kind of thing, rah thing, and it's great, dude.
It's absolutely wonderful.
So who did he face that one time where he turned face and it was a big deal like this? Did he face Evil? Was it Evil? I think it was Evil. And he turned face and it was such a big deal. And the Kurgan Hall crowd was all just like chanting his name. And it was like, you could tell it really mattered to him and all that shit. This is very similar, but like times 10. So
they got a Vader type on their hands in terms of like that kind of character. Dr. Death kind of Vader type with Gabe Kidd if they want to take him down that route.
Sure.
Man, they can. Oh, fuck. They're in the ring. There's a fucking chairs everywhere. They whack each other in the fucking head with them. And in fact, one of the ones that Kenny gives to Gabe Kidd, it's got to be that one in like 10, 20 that happened where, look, it's supposed to bonk in the middle so the lid comes off. Whoops, I hit you with the metal frame part.
They had it turned the wrong way.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be the other way and the thing flies off, but they just kept hitting each other with the wrong side.
It doesn't go bonk, fly. It goes clunk. Oh my God. Fucking hell. Kenny takes a fucking suplex off the top or something onto the tables, onto the chairs. I'm like, settle fucking down. By the way, the table didn't disobey Gabe Kidd this time.
No.
Not like it did Driller. Driller was like, that table fucked with me last night, and Kid's like, don't worry, bro. I got this. It's getting broken. I'll either go through it or Kenny will. Dude, and And this is kind of like, all right, this is it gets fucking amazing here because we haven't seen a single V trigger yet. This is
right
now that the chair parts kind of happened. This is mostly going to be the strong style New Japan, who's better finish, and they're just fucking fighting to the death. These two, fucking hell. We get the awesome. I love seeing Kenny get rebounds, lariat, like the one that Kid has. I gasped seeing him get the pile driver, but my brain's just like, he's too close to the ropes. His foot's on the ropes. I'm like, man, but that makes Gabe Kid look strong. Like, he got his fucking move on Kenny Omega. Like, come on.
They should have won, you know?
Yeah, right? So, and the fucking crowd's going nuts for it. Kenny starts hitting these gnarly looking V triggers, and Gabe Kid's selling this incredible. And he's kneeling, he's out of it. And he's just like, well, fucking do it there. Do it. Kamagoye, one-winged angel. And Kenny Omega wins. But does he, though? Does he? I mean, yeah, he did. But yeah, I watched that match and I'm like, Kenny got his amazing return. Everyone can see he's got no ring rust. He looks like an absolute star that he always did. That's great. Yeah. We all know. Gabe Kid. Wow.
This, like, okay, so there's some stuff that happened in this match too. There were other big moments where, like, Gabe Kid said he is New Japan here, so he becomes Inoki at certain ports in this match where
you know, bro.
So Kenny Omega's running the ropes, you know, trying to hit him with a V trigger, and he catches him with that. Maybe that was to counter the first one-winged angel, and like he couldn't get him, but he gets him in the Cobra Twist. And the crowd's like, "What?" And Gabe Kid's face is like, "That's right, I know this move too." You know, and he even hits him with the fucking Enziguri at one point too, which is, you know. And I was like, and Gabe Kid busted out the Tiger Driver 69 or whatever the fuck it's called too, and pile drive Kenny like neck first into the mat. It was very stupid, but that was when he got the foot on the ropes right there. It was right before that or right after that. But I thought the Inoki stuff was really cool. The fact that, you know, Kid knows he's done, but he goes out screaming and he's like, "Fuck you," you know. And it's like, I mean, it's so great. He flips off Kenny, loses the match. What is, like, we pan over and the president is shown. And what was Tanahashi's reaction to this match, Luke?
So I've seen it, actually. I'll tell you about a comparison show I've seen in a minute. But the Ward Juniors are carrying Gabe Kid because he's fucked. He'd been through a war, and Gabe's fucking, his face, he's just exhausted. He's fucking crying. And he looks over at Tanahashi, and Tanahashi's crying too. And
wow.
And son of a bitch, now I'm crying. Twice, because I watched this match twice. And do you think I was going to skip the Tanahashi cry part, even though I know what was going to happen to me? No. That's part of the match, god damn it. After that, you can pause it and just do whatever you want. You stop at Tanahashi's cry because that adds to the whole match in the moment for me. Because, like, and it hits me a little harder too because, like, I don't know, man. It's like he's in kayfabe criticize like the way Kenny wrestles and stuff, and in real life he's probably like, yeah, Kenny's great, but you know, in the storyline he's criticized the Kenny's wrestling and stuff, and then like also you got this Bullet Club, you know, guy here. They're both white guys too, like they're both foreigners, and they reduced the fucking president of New Japan to tears with just how fucking awesome they were, both of them.
You don't think Tanahashi was just crying because AEW beat his guy?
Nah, he's crying, man, because he just fucking saw fucking maybe I'm reading into it and I've read too many fucking blue skies, even Tweeties, because I've had a look around. But maybe I'm thinking like Tanahashi's crying because he's fucking found it. He's found the guy to show himself in this weekend.
I think that he just loves wrestling so much that he just saw that and it's like, you know, because that's what you want to see. That's the emotional reaction.
Zach and Ricochet are watching this match going like, we can follow this. They see Tanahashi crying. Fuck.
Yeah. They go out and he's not on commentary anymore.
No, he's fucking
and fucking Makabe sitting there. That would be funny.
Man,
Okay.
I'd have been going backstage to be like, dude, you boys all right? That was incredible. Well done. But yeah,
It was awesome. And like, that should have been on Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes.
Should have been on Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's why I get it. This is part of Wrestle Kingdom, kind of, but is it? We don't really know. So it's like, I wish that was part of Wrestle Kingdom. But, we'll see who sticks around for New Year Dash. I'm sure we'll have some fun stuff that happens there that kind of like puts a cap on the pen of some of this stuff that we've seen. So we'll see what happens. I thought that was one of the, best matches we've seen in a very long time. And I know that's cliche to say, but I mean it when I say it. It's been a long time since we've seen something that was that emotional force that wasn't Doki. It was like anything but Doki. Like, he's always going to be somebody that we care about. Taichi has gotten me kind of a little bit too, but it's like, something like that is such a big deal. And obviously I would assume the entire wrestling world is talking about it, as they should be. That was fantastic. And then we had another match. So unfortunately for these guys, Ricochet and Zack Sabre Jr. have to come out and main event the show. However, they crushed it.
Really did.
Let's talk a little bit about Ricochet. So my experience with watching Ricochet is that I did see him on WWE a little bit, like 205 Live era, but mostly it was in Lucha Underground and like PWG matches and stuff like that. Having seen him now after all the time he spent in WWE, I've said it before, I'll say it again. You can't spend 10 years or however long he was in WWE and not get awesome and continually like get pushed and get work and stuff like that. It's just like, it's impossible. If you are, there's only a few people that have ever been in wrestling that long in WWE, working the fucking house shows and shit, not get that good. So seeing him now versus Zack Sabre Jr., wow. He's really good. Like, he's like so much better than he used to be. And it's like, and he was awesome back then. So that was kind of one of the things that kept me going watching this match, is just seeing what he looks like now versus what he used to look like. Now, you've seen him on AEW, I guess, right?
He's been fucking awesome. And he's been taking on this bit of a heel role too, doing he doesn't really do it much in this match, but like I guess because it's a Tokyo Dome and you kind of want to show out with a good match. But he's been doing this thing where like he's willing to use like cheap shots, foot on rope, low blows to win, stuff like that. So, he's coupled that with his pretty awesome wrestling. I agree. I think he's better than he's ever been. Prince Puma, who?
I mean, wow, it was great. We have TMDK out with the champ, of course, and Hartley's there, and I'm like, hey, and these guys know. Well, okay, we just had this big emotional high, this big high spot of the show. Well, let's do a hot start. So Ricochet just fucking hits a Sasuke special right out of the match to start the match, and a 450 for 2. And we're like, okay, what was that other match? I don't remember that anymore. Let's watch this. So it's like, so Zack Sabre Jr. grounds Ricochet with an uppercut and wraps him up in the ropes for this brutal like kick to the arm thing. I've never seen him do that like that way. That was nuts, man. And so this is awesome. Ricochet tries some crazy flip off the guardrails, and Zack Sabre Jr. catches him in a cravat on the outside and does a super neck twister on the apron. And he's so into it. He's like, rock your neck. And it's great. He does all kinds of crazy holds, and they settle into this like, main event back and forth thing. It's really good. We had a really scary move here. A like backpack cannonball in the corner from Ricochet. Zack Sabre Jr. a little taller than you, buddy, so maybe, I don't know, that looks it's a little weird looking and looks scary, but I really like this match. But I am emotionally kind of still invested in the result of the match. Before, I was really hoping that Gabe Kidd would win. I was kind of pissy that he didn't. So, but Ricochet, man, so smooth, and like smoother than he used to be somehow, and by a measurable number. It's nuts. So Zack Sabre Jr. hit some like cool pinning dragon suplexes and an awesome suplex on the apron. They tumble to the floor. All right, this is from Ricochet. He hits a suplex on the apron. They tumble to the floor, still in the clutch, and then a follow-up suplex on the floor. That is fucking bomb shit right there. I was like, yeah. So then they start slapping the shit out of each other. And that's great. We get an awesome knee kick, like kick with his knee thing from Ricochet into a charging Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. does crazy holds on the top rope. We get a super Zaka driver, but somehow Ricochet kicks out. Big moves back and forth. Shooting star press for 2 from Ricochet. And then he goes for the 630, but it's dodged. Zack hits a PK. Zaka driver for 2. Ricochet hits a bunch of like straight up punches. And it's like, hey, whoa. You know, we didn't talk about it in the last match, but all of the refs got taken out in the last match except for Red Shoes, who came in when all the chairs were in there. And, and while like Gabe Kidd and Kenny Omega are bleeding and like falling all over each other, he calmly walks around the ring removing all the chairs. But he is the final boss of refs, so he is reffing this match as well.
Of course.
Anyway, so that was funny. So he's letting punches happen. We see another but Zack catches him and he collects all the limbs and he takes them for the win. The future of New Japan is orange.
Yeah. Man, this is one of those times that happens every once in a while where everyone watching a match knows, I think we're watching something special here. And then it's not the main event. And I'm pretty sure even the wrestlers themselves probably felt that too, because you're right. They go out hot, Ricochet and Zack Sabre Jr. And I don't think it ever really lets up. These guys are just constant movement with each other. It's absolutely wonderful to watch. Zack Sabre Jr. wrestles like he's the fucking champion of New Japan. And I am glad they brought Ricochet back in this way, meaning wrestling a heavy guy. And I hope if he does more future dates, he continues to do so. I know he's still got that build of the juniors, but I've kind of seen him do all that already, you know? And I'd be much more interested in seeing him, you know, against all sorts of other guys. Oh man, yeah. If he wishes to come back, I think he's always got a home in New Japan, doesn't he? Come on.
Well, he seems like he's kind of. Maybe he signed to AEW,
Yeah,
but
he
maybe
is, yeah.
not. Is he okay? Because it seems like he's kind of like can work wherever he wants right now. But
they're
maybe I'm
pushing
wrong.
him pretty decent. So
are they okay? Got it.
But I'm pretty sure he's probably got the okay to do the odd thing.
Well, losing to the IWGP champion is not a big deal. Or it is a big deal, but I mean, it doesn't hurt you any, you know. So,
dude, he got to wrestle a main event at the Tokyo Dome, man. His life's going pretty fucking good. He looked great. Right?
It's absolutely. Like I do feel like the crowd kind of sees him more as a junior, though. Like still, maybe not after this match, but they did at the time during it. They were just kind of like, we know who's going to win this. I mean, come on now. You know, he already beat Shooter. That was the biggest threat that he had. Now, the biggest threat that Zack Sabre Jr. has is Goto.
You know what I want from New Year's Dash? I want Goto's hopes to be dashed.
Yeah.
And someone whoops his ass for his title shot or something.
Well, New Year's Dash is in just a few short hours. And it's always a mystery card, and I'm excited to to see that and see what happens next. And we will obviously have another episode up to cover that. But man, it's been fun. You know, I like Wrestle Kingdom was really good. Wrestle Dream. Now that we've talked about it and had that experience, I feel like that it was an emotional release that we didn't get necessarily on Wrestle Kingdom, right?
Yeah.
So I liked that it was, I liked it as part of this whole thing. So
I reckon Doki Desperado would have carried that portion of the first night, that cathartic emotion, no matter who won, right? I think I would have been happy either way because of the match. So we finally got it next night with Gabe Kidd and Kenny Omega, and it's kind of this release. And yeah, I feel like that right now talking to you about it too. And so Kenny, if this AEW thing doesn't work out,
yeah, I think you do all right.
You'll be right. Come back to Japan. It's fine. Welcome anytime. Please. Come, please.
I like goofy Japanese Kenny too. Like goofy Japanese Kenny. Like, man, I'm telling you, back in the day with him and the Young Bucks, like Adam Cole tagging together. Well, I was just talking about like a specific thing, which is these tag matches that would happen with Bullet Club with Kenny as a leader. Those were fun matches. They're so fun. Yeah.
Like Ghostbusters and shit.
Right. Yeah. They dressed up like Disney princesses and shit. That was so
fucking really fun. Oh my god. So yes, it's I'm super amped up for tonight, and I will see you then, I guess. So, in Go Do We Trust.